Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of Nindies and Indies, a Nintendo fan podcast. I'm your host, ScrapGear, and joining me, as always, my good buddy, Draco Augustus. How's it going, man?
Hey. Going good, man. Going good. Oh, I brought back the hey thing.
Yeah, you
I
did.
didn't even need to. It's like...
Alright. Well, let's hop right into this. What have you been up to this week?
I've been playing some games. It's been a pretty busy week for me, IRL. Mm-hmm. But I have snuck some time in there playing a little bit of Splatoon 2, which is just downright fun as always. And that sounded sarcastic. I really didn't mean for it to. Like, I actually have fun playing that game. It's an awesome game. I did get a email for the Aftercharge Alpha, which I'm pretty excited to get into that this weekend, which it should be starting sometime soon today.
Now, that's not under any kind of NDA or anything, is it?
Nope. Okay. On the email, they said, no NDA, feel free to take videos, talk about it. They want it out there.
I'm just looking out for you, man.
No, yeah, I know. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully I'll get to jump in that for a bit and really get to talk about it. But I did get to see that at PAX South, which I mentioned before. And that's going to be a 3v3 shooter that almost has like a Overwatch look and feel to it. Like just the way that it's like, you know, you have different abilities and stuff. But really it's just going to be, it's invisible robots versus invincible defenders, basically. So the people who are attacking are these invisible robots, and they only become visible when they attack, right? Okay. So their goal is to destroy these like power pod things, and I think there's 3 of them on the map, and but they can be destroyed, right? But then they can also bring back each other. They can revive each other and stuff. Where the defenders have different abilities and stuff but they can't be destroyed. They can be knocked back and stuff by the robots and you know, so they can't get to defend their power pods or whatever. Yeah. And or containers. I don't really, they just look like these big lightning cylinders. Anyways, and they have guns and stuff to defend themselves. And then the robots can also power them up. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting in there and seeing the meat and potatoes of the game, getting hands on with it, because I'm not completely sure on all the details on how everybody works with each other and stuff. But it definitely looks like it will be a fun and possibly competitive game that will be on the Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch, and cross-platform on all 3. Nice. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And also, I have been emailing the one of the PR people for it, and they're gonna try to hook us up with an interview with some of the developers. So yeah, that should be fun. I'm excited about that. Nice. But we're supposed to be talking about games we have played, right? Right. Other than that, I played a bunch of Golf Story this week because I've kind of had like just bits of time here and there where I can't commit to sit down and play. So I did play a bunch of that. I was playing that a little bit this morning while kind of like intermittently cleaning the house. But I did get to put some good time into Sea of Thieves. Nice. I sank some time into it. Oh, puns. Yeah. But yeah, I played that with Captain Logan, who I hadn't played anything with in a while, but I mostly played Splatoon 2 with him, and it was cool to hang out with him on Xbox. And then I also played with Master Blaster from I used to play Destiny with him, you know, and I hadn't played with him in a long time, so it was cool to put a little bit of time back onto Xbox. But man, the game's coming out, and just like looking at just this month, like where like we have I just got my confirmation from Amazon that's like, oh, your pre-order for Nintendo Labo is confirmed, blah, 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 you know, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, that's coming. And I'm supposed to, you know, make time to do that with my kid.
Yeah. July is going to be...
It'd be fun.
Yeah, July is going to be crazy for me. There's 3 games that are coming out in July that I know that there are 3 games that I really want to get for the Switch.
Yeah. It's
2 of them come out on the same day.
Yeah. Hey, you remember when everybody was wondering where all the games were for the Switch?
I'm just glad. I don't think I've seen anybody say that. Now all I'm hearing is like, where's the virtual console for the Switch? It's like, easy. On the back burner until they figure out something that will work well so that they don't detract from the third-party publishing that they've been getting. Supported on the Switch. Again, like Doom, Wolfenstein, Dark Souls, all these games that are coming to the Switch from third parties, they probably wouldn't be there if we had a virtual console already. Because they'd be like, oh, well, people are just going to go and buy those because, you know, nostalgia beats like, new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I agree with that too much. I might buy, like, if the GameCube Virtual Console comes out, I might get a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you know what I've really been interested in playing is the Travis Strikes Again, or the No More Heroes series.
Okay.
I want to get those games on the Wii and play those. But if they had a virtual console that had Wii games on it too, that would be pretty cool. But you know, I still have a Wii, so I don't mind looking for the games. You know, I just go by Game Over every now and then, check and see if they have them. I got Mad World for $6. I haven't played it yet, but I got it. But I mean, I played it when it first came out, and it was a really cool game. Do you remember that game at all?
Not off the top of my head, no.
It basically is like a black and white graphic novel-y looking game. It even it'll say like kaboom across the screen and stuff like that, you know. And but all the blood is red, and you are basically Ash from Evil Dead, but more badass. Like, I'm trying to think of another character, like Ash from the Evil Dead combined with Marcus Phoenix. That's the way that I would describe the main character from that game. And you have a chainsaw that you can cut people up with on one arm, and I can't remember if you can have like guns or something on the other arm. Yeah,
I remember seeing this. I don't think I ever played it though, because like the stuff that I had on the Wii was very, very limited. But I do remember seing this. I never picked it up though. A lot of what I played on the Wii is like I played. What did I play? I know I played a ton of Super Mario Galaxy. But
that was a good one. I can't, like, there's so many games that I had for the Wii that I can't believe I got rid of. Especially when I still have like Animal Crossing for the Wii and like Super Smash Brothers Brawl, you know, for the Wii. So they're like, I'm not sure what my thought process going through and selling some games and not others was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mad World was tons of fun. It's very like arcadey, where like you get points for killing people in the most creative ways, but and like, you know, you actually have a score, so at the end of each level it'll give you your score and everything. Very cool game. Like you could shove a tire over their head and then grab a street sign out of the ground and shove that through their head and like throw them in this giant blender that's in the middle of the map. And
everyone says all the games on Wii were for kids.
Right? No, this was not a kid game. But yeah, I was actually surprised to see that it was only $6. I figured that would be one of the harder to find games or something. But
one. I remember seeing it at the store that I used to work at, and we didn't sell it for. It was not a very expensive game. It might have been like $6 or $7, maybe 10 at most. It may have only been $3, just because it was one. The Wii games, except for the ones that were really, really, really popular, or really hard to find, like the Fire Emblem one. That one was like almost $40. But that was also a really hard game to find.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's weird, like, I guess they just like produced a lot more copies of Mad World than they ever sold, and
Yeah.
that's why it's so cheap now.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's I really want to find the Travis Strikes Again series because I've been seeing like I listened to the Nintendo Power podcast, the official Nintendo podcast,
Yeah.
and heard an interview with the creator, and that had me pretty excited, especially like the two-player looks really fun where one person is Badman and one person is Travis, and you're kind
Hmm.
of they're like it almost from their relationship almost reminds me of Goku and Vegeta, like
Oh
they're
yeah.
they're both they're both or Badman is like kind of the anti-hero that's against Travis, but they still have to work together to
Hmm.
to get stuff done, right?
So what you're saying is Batman's going to be the best character.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, and apparently, like, and this is one reason why I'm like, well, now I have to go back and play the original games because
Hmm.
apparently there was a character in the original series that is called Bad Girl, and I think you kill her in the original ones, and Bad Man is her father, and so he's actually seeking revenge on Travis, but still has to work together.
Interesting. Yeah.
So yeah,
Huh.
um,
Hmm.
I'm pretty intrigued by those games. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know, but then after that Nintendo Minute where they interviewed him as well,
Hmm.
and it looks. I'm pretty excited to see it. I know a lot of people are excited about the game, but like I said, it was just never a series that I got into before. But now I'm very intrigued. So hopefully I get in there on that. But time is limited, and so is cashola. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully I can talk about it though. And that's it for me, man. How about
Okay.
you? I think that's it for me at least.
Well, for me, really only been playing a couple of games this week. I decided to, go back onto the Xbox. My wife and I actually got to play Terra a little bit one night. That was interesting because I can't find one of my second headsets for the Xbox. So we tried plugging in the headset that I usually use for recording, and that's my PlayStation headset. Tried plugging that in, and that did not work. It did not agree with it. And we also tried her iPhone headphones, and for some reason, like the microphone wasn't working on it. So, so we ended up. I was like, okay, well, let me go down to my computer and I'll invite you into our Discord that we have for our podcast team, and where we talk directly. And next thing I know, I get a text from her, and it's a link to a Discord. She created a Discord server for just the two of us so that we could do voice chat. But that one wasn't bad. That was we had fun when it did let us actually play together, because the tutorial area, there's a couple of different areas where you can't team up with people. So we had to split apart and go and do those things. But now we're past that, so we'll be able to do the rest of the game together. And we are both the sexy demon ladies, the Castanic, I think is what they're called. She decided she wanted to be the DPS, so she's walking around with this giant two-handed sword. And I was like, well, I've got a priest already. I'll go and, if I want to start with you, I'll make a mystic, which is the other support class. And so far, I have had a much easier time with the priest than I did. Oh, no, sorry, the mystic than I did with the priest, because the mystic gets to summon minions. So I can summon a tank minion and a DPS minion. And like I set the DPS, the boss at the end of the tutorial area is like this big, giant, like I don't want to say rhino-looking thing, but it's like this big giant beast that you have to go and fight. And with the priest, like all of my super high or my high damaging spells for what I have are all very close range, kind of like with the mystic. But I plopped the turret DPS minion down, and me and my tank minion both got stunned, and I'm just watching its health bar just drop like crazy. And I'm like, whoa! that thing can do some damage. Holy crap. It pretty much looks like a slime, like one of those little slime enemies on top of a pedestal that just shoots little blue pellets at. But like the damage on it is crazy, at least for the level that I was at. But other than that, was playing some more Dragon Age and Dragon Age Inquisition. Finally starting to get into the game a bit more. Like I got that game when it came out, and compared to the other two Dragon Age games, like this one starts really slow. All of the characters that you have at the beginning, or the party members that you have at the beginning, are not that interesting. Or the one funny character was from Dragon Age 2, and it's like, well, I've already had him, he's been a party member. I don't want to have him again. Also, he wasn't one of my favorites from Dragon Age 2, but I'm finally getting in, like, I'm finally getting Blackbeard. I finally got, not Blackbeard, Blackwall. Also finally got Sarah, and Sarah's, the mission where you get her is really interesting, because she tips you off to a noble that's trying to kill you. You go up, you show up at the noble's place where he's planning on ambushing you, and she shows up, puts an arrow through his face, and is like, okay, by the way, there's more backup coming, but that's okay, because I stole their breeches. And you fight a bunch of guards that have no pants on because she stole their pants.
Oh,
wow. But, so I'm finally really getting into that. I am getting a little frustrated because I decided to play as a dwarf with a two-handed weapon. And there's a lot of armor that I've been picking up that's human-trained only. So humans and elves can wear it, but dwarfs can't. And I'm just like, come on. So that's been a little frustrating. But other than that, been having fun with it. It really made me want to play through some of the other BioWare games. So I downloaded onto my Xbox upstairs the original Mass Effect trilogy. And I might go through that soon. But I've just been having fun single-player games. I did finally beat Bayonetta, though. I sat down and just cranked out the end of it. It's interesting. I don't know what they're going to do. The first one? Yeah, the first one's interesting. The entire
on your Xbox or
I don't have it on Xbox. I've only ever had Bayonetta on the Wii U and the Switch. So
okay, and I couldn't remember if you got it on the Switch.
I did because I was like, it's a game. It's one of those games where like I might play it on the go, or I might not.
That's another one I really want to get. I need to go check Toys R Us. I think they might have had another percentage price drop and see if they have a copy of it there still.
Yeah. I mean, if you buy Bayonetta 2 at a discount, like for $60, you get Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta.
Yeah.
So, and I think if you buy them individually, like Bayonetta is like $30, but then I don't know how they did it on the Nintendo Switch eShop, but I know on the Wii U eShop, if you bought Bayonetta 1 or 2 digitally, you got a discount on the other one. Mm-hmm. So that together it equaled about $60.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I want to say that it does something similar. I don't have my Switch within grabbing distance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that if you buy them individually on the eShop, I want to say they're each like $30 or something, maybe.
Yeah. Well, if they're each $30, then it probably doesn't do the discount. Because I think when I bought it on the Wii U and I did it digitally, I think Bayonetta was $30 and Bayonetta 2 was $40, and I bought Bayonetta 2, and that dropped. It took $10 off Bayonetta.
Ah, okay.
So, but yeah, so I finally beat that. What else did I play on the Switch? I don't think I played much on the Switch this week. The only other thing that I've really been playing and putting a lot of time into is I got an email at the beginning of the month from Nintendo being like, "Hey, here's a coupon code that you can use on any of these games and get 30% off of one of them." And one of them was Fire Emblem Conquest. I was like, I never beat that one. And I traded it in because I had the physical copy, and I think I traded it in towards my SNES Classic. So I was like, okay, I'll pick that up, 30% off. this is a game that I've wanted to play, and I just keep putting it off. And I have been playing that a lot. I was, before I started up my new file, I was like, well, what's a good pair up for Corrin? Just because, like, if I'm gonna min-max one person, like, the main character is going to be the one that I'm gonna min-max. And everywhere that I looked, it's like, easiest thing to do, if you pair up Corrin with, depending on if you're playing as the male or female Corrin, depends on if you have Felicia or Jacob. I'm playing as female Corrin, so I have Jacob. And they're like, oh yeah, just pair them up with either the maid or butler, who, whichever one is the opposite gender, and you can pretty much solo that entire game with just Corrin. And I believe it. I have just been walking through stuff. I think right now my Corrin is like level 14 promoted, so that technically puts her at level 34. I'm fighting enemies that are like maybe level 1 or 2 promoted, so that puts them at best level 22, at worst level 12. And yeah, Corrin is just broken. I think what was the most chance? I think I was fighting somebody with a lance, and of course, like, I had her using a sword, and they had like a 55% chance to hit me, which is nuts, because it should be much better than that if it's a lance against a sword. But well.
Yeah. Speaking of Fire Emblem, I saw a little thing on the on YouTube. It was just some random video, but it was about the armor breaking or whatever.
Oh yeah, the armor break endings in Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah. Did you ever do that?
No, I have not done that. I have watched a video where someone went through and did all the armor breaks for all the characters that were out at the time.
Yeah.
And then the DLC came out, and so there's new characters, but the only thing is like, to be able to do that, you need to have armor break on one of your weapons. I don't even think I've gotten armor break on one of my weapons yet, because you have to unlock it, and then it's a random one. But like, I've been having people using like the best weapon that they can use. I'm trying to be good about going and using the weapons that have skills that I need to get X amount of kills to be able to unlock. But yeah, for the most part, it's just been, I'll just use what I've got.
Yeah, I just saw that, and I was like, whoa, I might need to get that game instead of Hyrule Warriors.
If as much as I love the Fire Emblem series, and as much as I've enjoyed Fire Emblem Warriors, if you have to choose between one of the two, get Hyrule Warriors, because I haven't put a lot of time into this DLC, namely because, like, I can finally get Chrome's personal weapon up to the max so that it's, up there at the 720 power rather than the 480 that the basic hero sword that has no skills on it whatsoever is at. Mm-hmm. But my problem is that all of the characters that keep getting added into the game might as well just be different skins for one of the other characters. Like, Tharja was one of the characters that got released with this latest DLC, and her she plays exactly like Robin, just a different skin, and her stats are different. Chrom and Lucina play the exact same way. Their movesets are the exact same. It's just a different skin, and her stats are different than Chrom's. So, so like, I enjoy it, but like, I'm a little bummed that they kind of just went, oh, well, here's this character that, does
behaves
basically
like
the exact same thing.
Yeah, so it's a little more. I remember you saying that before, actually, too, that there's like, Hyrule Warriors has a lot more variety in their actual attacks and moves and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Still, though, Camilla with her broken armor.
Yeah.
I'll just watch the YouTube video, I guess.
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't need to spend $60 to watch that. It's on YouTube already.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been playing. I did re-download Fire Emblem Heroes, and I was glad to see that my save data was still there, either because it was linked to my Nintendo account, or I just deleted the app and not the save data.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loaded that back up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I deleted this, because I hit a point where the missions that I could do were either not giving me a lot of experience because they were a couple levels below me, or the ones that were above me, it just like piled in a bunch of enemies, and like it was really tough to get through and actually level my characters up. So
yeah.
But yeah. So with that then, let's move on to some news. We got some new trailers this week. First up, something that came out, it was about a week ago. I can't remember if it came out on late Friday or Saturday, but the official Nintendo Switch trailer for Outlast finally came out. I'm like, that's awesome. I still don't know if I want to get it because, yeah, that's like my daughter will just pick up stuff and play on the Switch, and I don't know if I want to be like, oh, that's the last game that was in there.
Yeah. That could be scarring maybe.
Just a little bit. And then a couple other trailers just to note. They did do a character highlight for Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I have it on the Wii U. I have all the characters on there, so I haven't watched it. But Draco, if you're curious, or if any of our listeners are curious about like, hey, what do some of the characters do? Go ahead, watch that. It's just a short, like 1 minute, 17-second video. So I think it's only Link. Nope, not Sheik. Impa. There we go, and Zelda. I think it's just those three. There was also at Polymanga 2018. There was a Splatoon 2 Off the Hook concert. I have not watched it because I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I bet it was better in person than trying to watch it on YouTube.
yeah. I was like, I watched a little bit of it, and it's basically the music from Splatoon, but you have a live band there.
Yeah.
And they had basically a big piece of glass and, a bunch of smoke, obviously, and stuff. So I'm pretty sure if you're in the audience, it wouldn't be quite as obvious as watching it from multiple angles on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it was just a big piece of glass that they projected Pearl and Marina up onto, and they would like dance around and stuff. So it looked like a hologram kind of them, so which was really neat. I think that's awesome that they went as far to do that, and it's awesome just how big Splatoon is over there, But yeah, it's neat. It's really cool, but I didn't watch the whole thing because it just kind of like, maybe I'll show my kids or something,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure if I showed that to my kids, they'd be all over it because my youngest just sat down and she hopped onto the 3DS eShop. Doesn't have a card on there or anything. She doesn't know the password, so she can't log into mine and do any of that stuff. So she can't buy anything, but she watches trailers on there, and she just watched the Octo expansion trailer like 4 or 5 times in a row.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Okay.
That's a cool trailer, for
yeah.
sure. I just watched it right before we recorded because I'm getting pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
You said you just beat the
main story. Yeah, I finally sat down and forced myself to finish the main story.
What do you think of that? Because I heard some negative stuff about it from N64 Josh. He was kind of like, the story seems kind of tacked on and, not very meaty, or I can't remember exactly what he said, but like I thought that it was really good. Like
I don't remember if he ever did the story in the first Splatoon, but
and see, I didn't either, but I got it still, and it was
the story isn't there to be a story so much as, hey, here's some obstacle courses. It gives you a way of like learning creative ways to use some of the weapons in multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I mean,
yeah, like you said, there's not much story, but there's enough. Like when you
there's enough. I mean, the first campaign wasn't amazing either, but I had fun with it, and that was the important part. Again, like I said, they're just it's obstacle courses to kind of give you to broaden your creativity with the different weapons. I'm like, oh hey, I can do this with this weapon.
Yeah, and as far as gameplay goes, like it's the best shooter platformer I've ever played. You know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
so I mean, like it's got pretty, like you said, it's obstacle courses that show you different ways to use the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, in ways that you well, you know, even in the multiplayer mode now, I saw that they added some of the things that you can do in the single player, like using those little things where you shoot them and it teleports you up to them, kind of like
Oh yeah.
sucks you up to them. And yeah, I mean, like if they keep doing that too, that'll be really cool. Especially where I was going to say with the new Octo expansion coming out, it looks like they really go into more depth on,
Yeah.
first of all, the story, but then also like they're using their specials to actually traverse the maps, you know, like where they use they get launched in the splat ball.
Yep.
And have to like use it to roll along different things. It looks like they definitely put more time and effort into it, but I thought there was a lot of that stuff like in the main campaign also that was pretty neat. Yeah, it would be cool if another thing that I liked a lot in the main campaign was when you're riding along the rails, you know, and you can shoot from them and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that would be pretty neat to put something like that into, like, just if they could just have like a spiral of those up and down like a main course or something, you know, that you know you'd be battling between as you're like grinding along these rails, basically. Yeah, that would be so cool. Almost like the last level in the one player mode.
Yeah.
Man, I hope they're listening to this and having it translated for them so they can come up with a multiplayer map that does that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So a few
Sorry,
more...
I kind of got off speaking of rails.
That's okay. Well, we got a few more trailers. Two of them are some new indie games that are launching. We've got the Masters of Anima launch trailer that got that debuted a few days ago. It almost feels like what was it? Was it I think it was an Overlord? Was that the name of the... There was an Xbox 360 game where like you played this demon overlord and you summoned a bunch of like minions and whatnot, and then you use those minions to get your way through the different levels and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's like as you're going along, it's almost like a mix between like Diablo and StarCraft, right? Like, yeah. It looks pretty neat. I applied for a review copy of that, so we'll see if that happens.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, it looks pretty neat. Like I wasn't sure about it. Like, you know, I hadn't heard anything about it, and then I watched the trailer, and I was pretty intrigued by that.
Yeah. And then the other one, as far as indie titles, we have Jotun, the Valhalla Edition launch trailer. This is another one of those games that like. It's not just a video game, it's a piece of art. Just like looking at the art style that's used in it. It's all based off of Norse mythology, or at least from the looks of it. Like I saw, of the very few Norse deities that I know about, thank you, Marvel. Which I know that's not a good way to do that, but like the thumbnail for the trailer shows an ice giant. But it looks like you're playing this.
It looks remarkably similar to Loki's.
Yeah. And like it from what I got from the trailer is like you're going through, you're collecting these shards, and you're this Viking that's on his way to, you know, the journey to Valhalla and all that stuff. So I'm really hoping that it's gonna pull a lot of stuff from Norse mythology and history, kind of like Malaka did. Yeah,
with Tara Humara and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, that one looks really cool. That one I will probably actually pick up. That comes out in a couple of weeks. So I will probably grab that.
It definitely has an awesome looking art style, and I'm excited to see it.
And then the last trailer, and I got super excited, almost pooped myself when I saw this. It was the official launch trailer for the Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. And I was just like, yes! No, it's not just speculation. It is gonna happen! Finally!
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I need to beat the first one on my SNES Classic now before I pick those up.
Well, I mean, if you don't beat it on the SNES Classic and then you pick this up, then you just have all of them.
Yep.
Like, of all the Mega Man series, the Mega Man X series has been my favorite series. I mean, Mega Man X, the first one, is my favorite all-time game. But I have beaten every single one of those games except for Mega Man X7, and that's because on the PS2, those controls were garbage. Like that was when they first tried to do the whole, 2D or 3D kind of thing.
3D/2D.
Yeah, and like I found out later that like I managed to get through almost the entire game. I was at the final boss fight, and it was just like the controls and the environment and everything. It did not look appealing. It just was not working, and like I couldn't beat it. So I will try and do that again. But yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, that I've the only one I've played is Mega Man X. But it does look really cool. I do remember seeing like trailers and stuff for the later ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, when it was started getting into the 3D 2D.
Yeah.
And it looks like from this trailer that they really tried to polish things up too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
hopefully
I'm hoping
any
things
control issues you won't be seeing.
I can hope for that. The other thing is like my favorite Mega Man X PS2 game, because I think there were 3 altogether. There was Mega Man X7, Mega Man X8, and then Mega Man X Command Mission, which is the RPG, which isn't on the Legacy Collection. That's completely understandable. It's its own standalone game. But I had fun with that. I've beaten it a couple of times, but Mega Man X8 was another one. Like they definitely learned from the issues that they were having with X7, and they polished it up for X8, and X8 actually controlled really well. A lot of people kind of ignored it, mainly because of all the negative rep from X7. But I'm hoping with this, and because Keiji Inafune isn't with Capcom anymore, but we're still getting a Mega Man 11, that with the release of the X collection, like we'll get an X9, because X8 left off on this huge cliffhanger.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Especially since, with the Mega Man 11 thing.
Yeah. I can hope. I really hope that they do an X9.
When is the the regular Mega Man Legacy collections coming?
That is in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yep. So between
Donkey Kong's
May,
in May too. So.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna skip Donkey Kong Collection, because I'll get the Mega Man Legacy Collection for the 1 and 2 for the Switch, and I'll also pick up Hyrule Warriors. And then,
oh my goodness.
yeah, I think the Mega Man Legacy Collection comes out on the 14th, and then Hyrule Warriors comes out on the 22nd.
Okay. There's just no way to. And when does Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze come out? I know it's May. I can't remember the date.
Let me look.
I want to say it's like 12th or something. Freeze. I just looked at it.
Switch comes out on
May 4th.
May 4th.
Golly.
Okay, so that'll at least give you like a week and a half
to beat the game.
No, not to beat the game, but to save up and get the Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Yeah, to get that one too.
But yeah, so like for me in May, there's Hyrule Warriors, there's the Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and then June, I'm sure there's something coming out in June that I'm going to want to get, but I will hold off.
Super Smash Brothers coming in June.
Why would that not...
at E3? Yeah. The game's out now.
Surprise! But then in July, there's Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Project Octopath Traveler, and the Mega Man X Legacy Collection. I'm just like, July, why do you hate me so much?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's a really good time for those games to come out because that's the summer drought. People are like, oh, what am I going to buy? Oh, I have extra money now. I'm going to buy a Nintendo Switch and these games because there's so many of them.
So many games.
But yeah, I
already bought the Octo expansion, and my son wants it too, but I told him that he has to beat the story mode.
Yeah, he's got to beat the main story first.
Yeah, I was like, if you want that, you got to beat it, and he kind of just gets frustrated.
I got to grab that too. That one I think comes out in June. So there's the Octo expansion.
That comes out this month, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, never mind then. I thought it said the end of April. Never mind. I could be thinking of something completely different, and I just got my wires crossed.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find out the release date for it. Hopefully there's no... Oh, come on.
For some reason, I've been thinking like the whole time since that thing that it was the end of April when it was coming out. So
yeah,
like I said, maybe I'm just...
I think it got leaked at some point. Let me see. Let me click on the buy now. Oh no, it's gonna make it difficult. Never mind.
It's gonna make me buy it now. Damn.
Yeah. I think it was either mid-June or late June or something like that. But because it had gotten leaked somewhere. I don't remember where. But yeah, so look at that. I have something to do in June while I'm waiting for the 3 other games that I really want to get. But yeah, like I said, the Mega Man X series is my favorite Mega Man series, and I can't wait to play it again, and I'll have all of it on the go, which will be nice.
Yeah, on the go will be fun.
But yeah, so that's all that we got for trailers. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I think you mentioned all the stuff that you wanted to talk about at the beginning.
Yeah. I did play some. I forgot to mention I've been playing a bunch of Pokemon Go with my wife lately because she that's her game, right?
Yeah.
And so when I'm with her and she starts playing, I pull mine out too. Well, the Mew event is going on right now where you can do all this special research, and there's like a field research thing too that you can go through and start. As you get all your stamps, you can catch legendaries, which makes you not have to do the raids. So, like, I just got a Moltres from it.
Nice.
And I'm working my way up, and I think it'll go through each legendary Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
As you keep unlocking your packages, right? My wife actually she finished all the special research, and I'm not far from it because I wasn't far behind her.
Yeah.
And she caught the Mew. She caught Mew.
Nice.
Which is awesome. And yeah, so that's a pretty cool thing going on in Pokemon Go.
I don't think I've played that since like a couple of months after it came out.
Dude, it's a completely different game now. It's so much easier and like more user friendly and tons more Pokemon, you know? I mean, if you were to get on now, you'd catch a new Pokemon every like 30 seconds probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been fun getting back into that pretty good. But yeah, that's it. That's the only thing that I remembered that I did actually want to mention.
Yeah. All right. Well, we don't have any Star Road mail this week, so no listener mail, no messages from Hyperspace. So we are going to start wrapping things up. Draco, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Draco Augustus and my Mulehorn Draco at mulehorngaming.com if you want to hit me up there.
You cut out for a second. Do you want to repeat that?
Oh, but you can find me on Twitter at Draco Augustus, and my Mulehorn Gaming email is Draco at mulehorngaming.com. And also, today actually I forgot to mention this too. We're doing a Houston Switch Club meetup. If you're in the Houston area and you have a Switch or you don't even have to have a Switch, if you just want to start playing some Switch games and want to see what the Switch is all about, join the Houston Switch Club Facebook group. And we do events every now and then, and today we're actually having an event, which I say today that you probably won't be listening to this today, and there's no way you would make this unless you came. Thanks for coming if you came. But yeah, we're meeting at the Coral Sword, and yeah, should be fun. Even if not a lot of people from the group show up, I'm sure there's going to be tons of people at the Coral Sword anyways. So. Mm-hmm. Either way, you can hang out with me in the Switch Club, or you can just hang out and play some board games.
There you go.
Yeah, ought to be fun. Ought to be good. But yeah, that's it for me.
Well, and as for me, you can find me everywhere as ScrapGear. I am trying to. I do want to try and start streaming again. I've got a couple ideas on some things that I want to do during the week, so I can try and stream. Maybe not every day, but try to do something. I do want to stream on Wednesday, or this upcoming Wednesday. That would be April 18th. I'm going to do a birthday stream, and I'm just going to play the crap out of Mega Man X all day. Maybe not all day, but I will. I'm going to play through that. So, Draco, I know you have. If you want any help trying to figure out what order to do bosses in, I'm going to play through the game the way you would normally play through it. And then I'm going to do my speed run. And then I'm going to do the challenge where I get all the weapons in order without going and getting all the upgrades first. So yes. That will be fun.
Yeah, I should have your notifications turned on. But just in case, message me in the Discord. And
I will do
definitely... at least try to get on my phone and watch you, because I definitely need to see some bosses being beaten.
Yeah. But yes, that will be on twitch.tv/ScrapGear until Mixer puts a server that is not, Washington, D.C. is the closest one to me in the U.S. For anyone who doesn't know, I live in Maine, so that is quite a distance from the nearest server. So that's the only reason I'm not streaming on Mixer. And the couple of times that I was streaming on Twitch back in January, I really missed the FTL. I do like that, very low latency between the stream and the viewer. So
yeah,
hopefully
it's awesome. It almost takes some getting used to.
Yeah. Well, it's nice when you only have a couple of people talking to you, because then you're talking in real time and not being they go and they type something and then you go and you respond to it as soon as you see it in there. But then for them watching, it's it takes a couple of minutes, or it feels like it takes a couple of minutes before they're oh yeah.
On Twitch.
But yeah. Also, be sure to follow Nindies and Indies on Twitter at Nindies and Indies. That's Nindies twice. Because and is too long. And be sure to check out our home site, mulehorngaming.com. That's where we post all of our episodes, as well as a bunch of other really cool video game related stuff. And actually not just video games, because sometimes we do, I think Nate Johns is working on doing some reviews of the Marvel movies leading up to the Infinity War movie.
Yeah, he's gone through every one. I'm pretty
every
sure,
single one of them.
Series, at least.
I think except for the Incredible Hulk one, because that one was the one that was tacked on to Phase 1. And it was right before the whole Marvel movie thing went on. Iron Man is the official first. Well, is the first one that a lot of people consider. But the Incredible Hulk technically came out before it. But I know, if you go and you buy the Phase 1, special collector's edition, which is it's like a shield briefcase, the Incredible Hulk is in that one. But, so
that
Marvel counts movie. It, but it was better than the first one, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's better than Hulk. But yeah, so definitely be sure to check out mulehorngaming.com. Also, if you like listening to video game podcasts and want to check out another one, be sure to check out Analog Assault, the official video game podcast of MuleHornGaming.com. But that is going to do it for episode 10 of Nindies and Indies, a Nintendo fan podcast. Until next time, GG.
GG.